y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I've been gone for a long ass time. Okay. My explanation, a bitch had a brain fart. Okay, if you want to be honest, I didn't know what I wanted to post about or what was my next move, what was my next video. And you know, I'm still kind of in the works of it. I mean, for the most part, I think I do know what I want to start doing, but you guys will see once I start uploading more videos what type of timing I'm on. So today, basically, as you probably read in the title, today is going to be a video, basically like a life update. What the hell has been going on with me for the past year, 2 years, however long it's been since I posted on this goddamn channel. First things first. Y'all, life been lifing for sure. Okay. So a lot of people don't really know me, you know, personally, or like none of my like private business unless they're like really close to me. So long story short, your girl got out of an 8-year attachment. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. And as a female, you know, we all got that one person that you just can't let go of, and nothing in this world, it just don't work. And eventually I did, you know. It took a long time. I won't go into detail about it because I don't feel like it needs to be really discussed, really. But yeah, your girl, she free. I'm free. Give it up for me. It was hard, it was long, it was a hard journey, a lot of tears, a lot of disappointments, but I'm happy, I'm better situation, I'm with a new person, I'm doing well. So I can't do nothing but be grateful for that, you know? Second thing, I really gave some really meaningful relationships so far. Starting last year and up to this year. Specifically, I got really close with my cousins, one on my mom's side, one on my dad's side, and we just are like fucking besties, like sisters type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you know me personally, you know it's really hard for me to connect with people, you know, and feel like a sisterhood towards anybody, or like a, you know, a real deep connection. So for me to have that is great. Okay, it's fucking great. I'm in a new relationship. I'm very freaking happy. I'm trying not to cuss too much, but I had a potty mouth. If y'all didn't know, you know now. But yeah, I'm in a relationship and I'm so freaking happy. When I tell y'all, this man came out of nowhere with everything I've asked for in a man, everything that I wrote down that I wanted in a man. This man came with all of it. And I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, when they tell you blocking your blessings, sis, dealing with that same nigga, they not lying. Listen to them. Walk away. Walk away. What else? What else has been going on in my life? Your girl had a stump. I was unemployed for like 3 months straight over like this, like around the time I came back to school. If you don't know, I'm currently in college. I am currently a senior. And over the summertime, when we first came back to school in August, I could not find a job at all. Like, nobody wanted to hire me, or like even the jobs that I worked at prior that I went to, they didn't want to hire me, or my schedule didn't match up with, you know, a certain business. So I was just really trying to encourage myself to like not fall into that pit of, you know, nothing's gonna work out, like I'm just gonna be sitting here broke and I can't find a job, like something's wrong with me. No, I always just kept it in my mind that something better is coming, because I was applying to like bullshit jobs, to be honest. I was applying for like jobs that were paying me probably 11, 12 an hour, or like 13 an hour. And I'm just like, okay, maybe something better is coming for me. Maybe that's why I'm not getting these jobs. And lo and behold, I did get a job at K Jewelers, paying $15 an hour. And mind you, where I'm at, the school I'm at, I'm not gonna tell y'all where, baby, this is country bumpkin town, okay? There is not many jobs paying you $15 an hour, okay? So that was really, really like a blessing for me. And it was also like a step out of my comfort zone, because if you know me, I'm a very, very like shy person, okay? I don't know how to talk to people for real. So it was definitely a risk for me, but I'm glad that I did it. You know, I'm very happy. I love my job. It's great. And last, well, not last, but before I get into the juice, the not the juicy, but before I get into other stuff, your girl applied to graduate, which means I'm gonna be a college graduate in May, specifically May 13th. I'm out. I'm out. Don't ask me to come back. No, I'm not going to graduate school. No, I can't do it. Leave me alone. This is it. This is that. You feel me? So yeah, I am about to be a college graduate. First one in my family, you know. First generation. Stop playing with me. But yeah, so like I said, y'all, life was lifing for sure. You know, I had a lot of ups and downs last year, but right now, you know, shit has been going pretty smooth. You know, still lifing for sure. But we gonna see how this year go. We gonna see if it's gonna get ghettoer or if it's gonna calm down a little bit, you know. So, y'all, please ignore my lashes. I know they look thin. Don't talk about me, okay? I don't know why this eye just don't fuck with me. It just keep falling. Whatever. But, so really what I wanted to make this video mostly about was me finding out that I may be autistic. And I know that a lot of people, especially in the Black community, don't really like respond well to, you know, people coming out and saying like, yeah, maybe autistic, because we're like, you know, what do you mean? Like, you're not autistic? Like, because a lot of people feel like autism looks like one thing, you know, and it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Every individual is different. Every individual has different things about them that makes them unique. So for me, I'll start off by saying that when I was a child, I don't really remember a lot of my childhood. Probably starting from like the age of 9 is when I really remember and up. But I've always been known to be a very talkative child, like very energetic. You know, my family would say I'm very dramatic, I'm very energetic, I talk a lot. You know, I've gotten that pretty much my whole life. I've also gotten that I was always weird, you know, from like people that I was friends with, or family members, or people that I dated. Like, you know, they would just say like, oh, you're weird, or you're irritating, or something like that. You know, kids will be kids. I never thought that I could potentially have any type of disability or condition that I didn't know about. But my entire life, I've always found it really hard to socialize with people. Like, you know, people would always tell me, I'll tell them like, I'm scared, like, I don't know how to talk to people. I want to, but I don't know how to. And they'll be like, oh, you just have to walk up to people and just say, hey, introduce yourself. Say, my name is this, like, you know. And then I'll always be like, but what do I say after that? You know, I've never been a conversation carrier. I don't know how I'm supposed to put myself out there. So pretty much my whole entire childhood and teenage years, I didn't really have many friends. It would always be people that would reach out and talk to me first, but it was never like me going out and like socializing, like, hey, who are you? Like, what's your name? Like, I'm Kiara, like, where are you from? Type stuff. I never did that. And so a lot of my teenage life, you know, I had some friends at that time, but it, you know, they moved, or we didn't really talk as much. And so it's like, it's not really the same. And as I've become an adult and I've become more aware of myself and I'm aware of my behaviors, I started to kind of like, you know, pay attention to certain things about myself. And what really even got me to think about like if I am autistic or not, I think I saw a video on TikTok or something about different traits of a person who was undiagnosed with autism at the time. And I can't remember what she said that was going on with her, but for some reason it just kind of made me start to think like, hey, could I be, you know? And the thing is, I also don't like to be one of those people that see a TikTok where people be like, oh, traits of ADHD or traits of autism. And then everybody's in the comments like, yeah, I think I am. I think I might have ADHD. I think I might be autistic. No. So I never ever used to label myself, even if I did relate to some of the traits that they had. I never used to put that label on myself. But after I watched that video, I decided that I wanted to kind of look into autism to see like what it was and how to really tell if you are or are not. And when I looked it up, of course they were like, you need an actual like evaluation from a psychiatrist that can tell you if you are. And because I wasn't able to go and obviously go call up a psychiatrist and be like, hey, I think I'm autistic. I think I need to be evaluated. I decided to take a few tests that they have online to kind of give people an idea if they are or not. And I took about 3 or 4 of those tests. I kid you not. And each one said, you may be autistic. You show a lot of signs of autistic traits. And I'm just like, whoa. When I tell you I was mind freaking blown, I was mind blown. Because I'm like, could this be why I just feel so weird, And I also want to say that I have been a person that's felt different my whole life. Like I always felt like I was an outcast, like I didn't really fit in with a lot of other kids. And as much as I tried to kind of be normal, and like connect with others, it just was not working. For some reason, it was just really, really hard for me. And so that's part of the reason why I decided to look more into it, because not only did I take the test, but I also know from my experience of growing up, socializing has not been easy for me. And if you like, for example, with me, I'm one of those people where it's like I have to practice what I'm going to say before I say it, because I have to think about, okay, what can I say? What should I say? I've never been great at eye contact. The only reason I've learned how to make eye contact is because I've always been taught by my family to always look people in their eyes. So I didn't have a choice. So I became accustomed with it, but I've never been comfortable with it. Like making eye contact with people for a second might be okay, but like, prolonged, I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't really like it, but I do it anyway because I'm so used to doing it, But it does make me uncomfortable. I get like unsettling feelings. I get anxious. I start to overthink and think like maybe they're staring at me. Maybe they see something like a flaw or something. And I just get really in my head about it, And I noticed after I took the test and after I kind of read about autism and what signs there are specifically in females, because I know that a lot of females go undiagnosed for a long time because a lot of autism research is based on men and boys. So a lot of girls go unnoticed. And because of how we're socialized, a lot of us seem normal, like neurotypical people, and we're not. So I know that my family had no clue. Never. And I've never once. I've never been evaluated. I've never been taken. I've always been called very healthy. And I am healthy, but I've never had any type of, doctor's visits or anything from my family because of any concern of my development. And so for me, once I started becoming more aware of my behaviors, I started to pick up on things that I do that I didn't realize that I did. And a lot of these behaviors are behaviors that autistic people typically do, which is called stimming. And stimming is basically like, it could be audio sounds, it could be physical behaviors or any type of actions that are like, that help autistic people regulate themselves, whether they're stressed or they're anxious or they're bored, doesn't matter. Don't quote me on everything. This is just what I've learned so far. And for me, once I realized, I started learning about stimming, what it looks like and what it is, I began to pay more attention to myself. And I noticed that I had a lot of behaviors that were a little different from most neurotypical people around me. They didn't do. One of those things is I do tend to rock back and forth a lot. Like I could be in the bed, or I could be in the car or on a chair, and I'll just kind of like rock back and forth, and I will do this for a minute. Like I just keep doing it. And then eventually I realize that I'm doing it and I stop, or I'll like, rock back and forth like this. It's just something that I do. I don't know where it came from, and I just do it. And I do it pretty frequently. Another thing that I noticed that I do is I play with my hair a lot. Like I always thought it was just something that I'd like to do. But like if I always had like straight hair, I would always like run my fingers through it. It didn't matter if it was my real hair or it was fake hair. I would just run my fingers through it. And I always loved how soft it was. I just loved the soft feeling of my hair. So I just always run my fingers through it. And it was just nothing that I thought anything about. But then I found out that that is a stimming behavior. Another thing that I typically do is like I'll rub my feet together a lot. Like when I'm in the bed, when I'm comfortable or just relaxing, I just do it repeatedly. I bounce my leg a lot. I notice like when I'm in class and I'm listening to a professor, it's really freaking boring to me. And I'll just unconsciously just like bounce my leg up and down all like for a minute, and then I realize and I stop. But it just keeps repeatedly happening, and I pay attention to my classmates and the people around me, and they're just fine. They're still, they're not moving at all. And I always wondered, I'm like, why can they stand still like, how can you sit still this long? And I'm literally over here fidgeting. I fidget a lot. And then that's when I realized, I was like, oh, I've been probably stimming this entire time and I did not know. And another thing with me is I've always been told that I say the wrong things at the wrong time, and that's with friends, family, anybody that's known me personally will tell me, why would you say that? Or they'll be like, you shouldn't have said that. And I'll be like, what? I'm like, what's wrong with what I just said? Because I've always been very direct and very blunt. And people will be like, you shouldn't say that, or why would you say that? And I just be like, I didn't know that it was a problem. I didn't know that people didn't, do these type of things, or say these type of things. What else? It's plenty more that I do pay attention to that I actually wrote in my notes, but I don't have them right now. I'm trying to think of other things that I do. Sometimes, I might like tap my chest a lot. Please ignore my nails. Yes, I know they look a mess. But sometimes I'll rock back and forth and I'll just kind of tap my chest. I don't know why. I don't know if I do it when I'm stressed or really just like bored or whatever. But I have a tendency to do that. I also really have like very intense reactions to things. Like when it comes to TV shows that I'm really invested in or really into, I notice that I do tend to overreact to like scenes, whether that I cry up to it or I jump up and down or I clap and I stand up. It's just like very dramatic. What else do I do? I do repeat songs a lot. Like I will repeat the same line in a song for a long time, to the point where I irritate myself. I'm like, okay, shut up, be quiet, or I'll kind of repeat phrases a lot that I heard that I like or something. I'll just keep saying it. From years ago though, it'll be things that I've heard years ago that I have not heard in a long time, and I'll still make those audio noises, I also, I do tend to get very overstimulated a lot. I didn't really notice it until I got with my boyfriend. And my boyfriend is the first person I've been with that's like really like touchy. And like for me, I'm not used to it. My family's not touchy. My past exes were not touchy. My friends have never been touchy because they know I don't really do the touching thing. But with him, he's very touchy. So I noticed that I would have these really adverse reactions to him touching me. Like it'll be a point where he'll touch the same spot or a certain way, and I'll get really, really overstimulated. And I'll tell him like, please, like, can you step back a little bit, because I feel like overwhelmed. Like I don't like the feeling at all. Like I need it to stop, And I do that typically when I am touched a lot. I get like that, you know. I have a really, I don't like certain textures. I won't eat any food that is different from what I'm used to eating. I'm a very picky eater. So like I eat the same stuff. Chicken, I eat freaking pork chops, you know, rice, I'll eat steak, I'll eat anything beef, pork, turkey, chicken, cool. But when you start introducing other stuff to me, you'd be like, oh, try seafood. I don't like seafood. I never have. I've never liked fish. I never really liked shrimp either. I just now started to like shrimp, but only if it doesn't taste fishy. But like, I will refuse to try any food that somebody offers me if it's not the typical texture that I'm used to. So like if people offer me like anything like calamari or oysters or any lamb or duck or anything that I've no meat that I've ever had before, it's like I can eat it, but it's really hard for me to. And when I do eat it, I can't enjoy it because the texture literally throws me off. And it's like I keep thinking in my head, this is not chicken, this is not beef, and it just messes up my whole. It's so hard for me to really like eat something. So typically, even if I try something new, I won't make it a part of like my typical meals, or I won't order them again or anything, because I know that I won't finish it. I mess around and throw up thinking about it. So yeah, those are just like a few of the observations that I've made. And I haven't told any of my family about it. I haven't told my mom. The only person I've really told is my cousin and my boyfriend. And of course, people don't believe you, or, you know, I know my mom and I know she probably won't believe me. So I do want to get an official diagnosis. This is not me saying I've been diagnosed, but I do want to get an official diagnosis. But I know from the research that I've done, it's really hard to like find somebody that's going to take you serious and like who studies autism, who can like actually evaluate me properly. So I'm really in the midst of trying to figure out like where I can go and, you know, where to go to get a diagnosis. If you are a person who may feel like you may be autistic, or you are autistic and you found somebody that worked for you, that evaluated you, please leave a comment down below. Help your girl out, because I'm really trying to see if this is the reason why my life has been so frustrating and hard for me this long. So if you know anything, or you know anybody that is autistic and know where they went, let me know. Put it in the comments. That's going to be the end of the video. I just wanted to kind of add, like, you know, be a little bit vulnerable and maybe help anybody who may be questioning if they are, and to help y'all, like, you know, understand that even if nobody believes you, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. And I do want to say that I am grateful for the women who are autistic, who had self-diagnosed themselves first and then actually got an official diagnosis, because they've really validated my experience and let me know that it was okay to look into these things, even if the people around you may think that you're just tripping, or that and there's nothing wrong with you, you know. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, you know, I helped you learn a little bit more about me, and also maybe helped you learn a little bit more about yourself. And I want to say that I am going to be coming out with a truth or drink video. So if you have something that you want to ask me, maybe that you always want to ask, or just any questions, send it to me, comment it down below, you know, or DM me on social medias. They're in the bio. And then I'm going to come with some spicy stuff, you know, next vid. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, deuces.